Thought the chat was enabled. Is it enabled now?
For no reason. And then it's towards us, and you want us to act good, but you acting a fool. So many people fight for no reason. And then it influences our kids in school, and then they start fighting. And the next thing you know, all of us gonna be in jail because we see other people doing it. They keep on telling us we the next generation, we gotta do good, but we watch.
I think the chat is open. BlackWatch. And anybody that watches this live, I appreciate you. You know, I didn't put any billboard on it. I never really know. I'm seeing that it is on. Rochelle just said something. But yeah, I wanted to do this live. I didn't want to do this as a pre-recorded, just in case anybody had any statements in real time, because I got a lot of audio. I got a lot of audio tonight, so it's not good. It's just gonna be me talking. Brother Mike, what's good with you, brother? So yeah, I've got some things that you'll be able to interject on. It looks like the chat is working, so I'm glad the chat is working. I want to keep that right. Let me minimize the Zoom screen. I think that actually gives me the live feed, so I don't look like I'm. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, word up. Okay. So yeah, I'm doing this because there's been a couple snippets out there on the 44th president of the United States, Mr. Barack Obama, with legendary rock and roll icon Bruce Springsteen. I'm gonna give Miss flowers. I'm not gonna shit on Bruce Springsteen, because Bruce Springsteen actually brought the curve of this motherfucking video up. I'm gonna tell you. Well, I think it's a video and it's a podcast. So, you know, people listening to it. I watched it and listened to it, and I did some shit, you know. Look, man, he can disrespect us all he wants. I mean, I felt like he did a very disrespectful job for 8 years, but he can disrespect us all he wants. What we need to do is we need to stop turning a blind eye to it as Black Americans, as American descendants of slavery, as American descendants of freedmen. Some of these African Americans ain't gonna be able to fuck with this. I get it. That's why I don't fuck with them. I can't fuck with African Americans. I can't fuck with coloreds. I can't fuck with them. But you Negroes, because see, I'm just not going with that little snippet that everybody's tripping about reparations. I listened to the whole motherfucking thing. I got a lot of time on my hands. I got a lot of time on my hands where I can listen to things. And when you disrespectful, I'm gonna call you out on your shit. What's up, Free? Y'all got to give me like at least a minute and a half sometimes to get in this motherfucker to get this shit right, because I don't be knowing what it says. I think it says top chat, then you get live chat. I thought top chat, I didn't know what that meant. I know what that was. So I got to turn it to live chat every time. So it's all good. But yeah, man. So we going to get with it. And I really want to start with what pretty much everybody's been talking about. You know, everybody's been talking about it. And I just believe we start at the beginning when he started lying. Because you probably heard this one. A lot of people have heard this one now. But we're going to go to when he started lying to us and shit. All right? When he started lying to us.
It's the same thing happened to me. Listen, when I was in school, I had a friend. We played basketball together. And one time we got in a fight, and he called me a coon. Now, first of all, ain't no coons in Hawaii, right? So
how many of y'all really believe that Barack Obama says ain't on a regular basis? I mean, there's only a few of us in this bitch. But how many of the three of you think that Barack Obama actually uses the word ain't on a regular basis? Ain't no coons in Hawaii. No shit. But there was at the time one coon that was growing up, one Barack Hussein Obama.
It's one of those things where he might not even know what a coon was. What he knew was, I can hurt you by saying this. And I remember I popped him in the face and broke his nose. And we were in the locker.
Anybody ever hear of Barack Obama being a one-hitter quitter? Now he's a marksman. Now he can strike motherfuckers and knock them out, break their shit in one punch. I ain't never heard about Barack getting in no fight till now. Now he tough.
In the locker room. Well done. And suddenly blood's pouring down. And it was just reactive. I said, what? And I popped him. And he said, why'd you do that? And I explained to him, I said, don't you ever call me something like that.
He called him a coon. Barack hit him with the one-hitter quitter. And the kid said, why'd you do that? And Barack didn't say like, bitch, don't you ever do no shit like that again. He said, don't you ever call me that again. He went all the way back into his shit. He's like, huh? Why'd you do that? Don't you ever call me that again. See, there's so much fakeness through this whole fucking thing with Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen is the realest motherfucker in the video. Bruce Springsteen is the blackest motherfucker in the video. I'm telling, look, trying to tell you, Bruce Springsteen, I've always liked Bruce Springsteen's personality. I don't like all of his songs, but I've always liked all of it. I've liked his personality. He's a deep motherfucker. And then we got to, we got, at some point you knew the nigga splaining was going to come out. I mean, you knew Barack was going to get the nigga splaining. That's how he got y'all. Us. Twice. He's one of the best nigga splainers in the world. I used to call him a great orator. Now I just call him a great nigga splainer. He lie worse than Kamala. He does. Kamala will never be as good as Barack because she's trying to be Barack and she can't be Barack. She can't be Barack. There's a certain thing she'll never have that Barack has. I already smoked weed and had behavior issues, but no fights. Smoked weed, had behavior issues, but no fights. So you ain't never heard about him one-hit a quitter on somebody for calling him a coon. Nobody has. Nobody has till now. This nigga's trying to sell books. He's trying to sell books. He tried to sell hope. Now he's trying to sell books. I hit him. I broke his nose. Let's get to the nigga splaining because it's kind of deep. We got probably, I'll run it to you. There's 4, there's 7, there's 10, there's 15. We got 15 minutes of audio in between all the shit that I'm going to talk about because I'm going to stop all this shit in between some of the shit. So just get ready to understand we ain't just going to run through it. I did too. Shell, look. Shell, I put butter on top of my biscuit and split it open then put butter on both sides, and then squeezed it together. I did. I was a butter biscuit eating motherfucker for 8 years. I did. And I can't stand looking at a biscuit now. Can't stand it. Ray make crescent rolls. She'll make some garlic bread. But biscuits, I got a problem with biscuits, man. Biscuits, I gotta do something. I gotta do something to them. I gotta carve a hole in them, make them a donut or something. Can't just eat a butter biscuit like I used to eat a butter biscuit. This motherfucker has turned me against eating butter biscuits. Let's start with the nigga explaining. First one's 2 minutes. If he gets all the way through, if I don't break into this bitch.
The legacy of race.
Yeah, I had to break into this bitch. See, this where he be doing that punk shit. The legacy of race. Nah, bitch. It's the legacy of racism. The legacy of racism is what it is. It's not the legacy of race. It's the legacy of racism, but he's trying to make it palatable for white folk. So he don't say racism, he say race.
The legacy of race
Sism
is buried, but it's always there, right? It's depending on the community you're in. It's how far near the surface it is not always clear. You know, I think a lot of Black folks always talk about how
when does he talk to a lot of Black folks? Let's kick the ballistics here. When is Barack Obama around a lot of Black folks? You know, a lot of Black folks talk about. When were you ever around a lot of Black folks? Except Shelley's fucking family reunion. He's so full of shit. We ain't even got to no disrespectful shit yet. Just listen.
What's hardest is not dealing with a Klansman.
When the Klan been active? When the Klan been active? Klan ain't active. The Klan wearing suits now. The Klan in D.C. in all 50 states.
That you know. That you can figure out. You are prepared and you are geared up. What cuts is people who you know aren't bad people. And the fact that that card is still in their pocket and that at some unexpected moment it might be played is heartbreaking.
He talking about being called nigger. That's what he's talking about. He's trying not to say nigger. He wouldn't even say N-word. Nigger babble. Nigger splaining. You understand nigger splaining, Shell? Come on now. You said, what the fuck did he just say? Here we go around in circles. He loves to nigger splain. And we ate that shit up, man. Here we go.
Because that's where you realize, oh, this is a deep, big piece of business. And it's not a matter of not using racial epithets. And it's not just a matter of, voting for Barack Obama. Yeah, that's why that movie, did you see that movie, Get Out?
I did.
And so when the father, who turns out to be crazy, right, starts saying, man, I'd vote for Obama a third time. I mean, that's part of the point.
Michelle has said several times Barack Obama is a narcissist. He is a narcissist. But now, see, he's equating Black American life with Get Out. Bug-out eyes ass movie. Who, coincidentally, is playing Fred Hampton right now, same actor, but he's bringing him out when his eyes was bugged out and he was cooned out, even though he's playing Fred right now. Dude, maybe it'll work for Fred's movie. Hey, the guy in Get Out is playing in Fred Hampton movie. Punch a ticket. Make the motherfucker make a lot of money and shit, because that's the Get Out actor. Yeah. He went from cooned out to Black Panther. Let's see his evolution. Let's see his evolution from cooned out to Black Panther, because he was in Black Panther too. So now he done played in Black Panther twice. He done been in Wakanda and south side of Chicago. Whatever. All that. You ain't heard it yet? What?
Point that line is making.
And this is a moment when it feels, as a country, we've got to have that conversation. You know, if we want to create a more honest and adult and noble,
they don't,
America,
Bruce,
and one that's worthy of its ideals. And on the day that John Lewis was buried is certainly not a day you can be cynical about the possibilities of America.
No, you know but I think John embodied this very particular brand of courage.
He did. In the 60s. In the 60s. But John Lewis died pumping DACA and died with one of the worst districts in the Union. Poor blacks, homeless blacks, jobless blacks. He wasn't marching for blacks at the end of his life. He was marching for DACA. And speaking of marching, we might just go the marching because we've been marching to nowhere. All y'all Black Lives Matter motherfuckers, what y'all doing now? Black Lives Matter said they made 90 million last year. Generally, when they tout what the numbers are, it's double. They probably made close to 200 million. So they just gonna tell everybody they made 90 million. But we know they've made 10 billion. 10 billion in 6 years. But last year you only made 90 million. So you made 200 million, 200 million, 200 million, 200 million. I'm sorry. 2 billion, 2 billion, 2 billion, 2 billion, 2 billion, 90 million. Who's kicking these numbers out to them? They've made $10 billion, $2 billion a year. But now they're just disclosing they made 90 million last year. 100 million is a 10% of a billion. They were making 2 billion a year. Now they only make 90 million. Get the fuck out of here. Black Lives Matter has done nothing for Black America, just like Barack Obama did nothing for Black America. And he's showing you why.
You know, my mother used to say sometimes, if I wasn't acting right, she said, listen, I don't necessarily care if you believe in what I've told you to do, but if you do it often enough, that's who you're going to be. And I think that there's a little bit of an element of young people saying, you've told us this is who we're supposed to be, that all people are equal and we treat everybody with respect. And you've told it to us often enough that maybe you didn't even believe it, but we now do believe it. And we're going to force you to adapt your behavior and your policies and your institutions and your laws to what you told us was true. Because, you know, you may have been painting a fantasy to make yourself feel better, but we believed it. And now we're going to try to make it true. And that's why, as long as protest and activism doesn't veer into violence, my general attitude is I want and expect young people to push those boundaries and to test and try the patience of their parents and their grandparents. And, you know, I remind young activists that when he be stuttering like that, and I apologize to Kaylin for not having that background up. I was messing with some other stuff earlier, but I want to make sure I got her background up because her background is dope. That fist is dope. Y'all know y'all like that fist. And I'm doing it in the middle of it, so hopefully it don't disengage me from some shit. I need to be disengaged from Barack Obama. Barack Obama. So
This motherfucker here, he's so sinister. He's so sinister. Just hold on one second.
And I remind young activists that I meet with.
What young activists? What young activists is he meeting with? I mean, I know he meets with some clowns every now and then, but usually they be appointed officials or elected officials that are put in play. They're really not dangerous people. When is Barack in the hood with some real activists? He might fuck with like Tamika Mallory and my son, people like that. But they're kind of, they kind of commercialized now. They doing work and shit, but they're not like. And then he mentions motherfucker like Coates. I kind of spoiled the surprise, I guess.
I said, look, if you want my advice about how you can get a law passed or get enough votes.
Can we get reparations passed?
Empower people. I can give you some practical advice, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that should be your goal. Sometimes your goal may just be to stir shit up, and open up new possibilities.
Stir shit up, open up new possibilities. Come on, man. Come on, man. Open up new possibilities. Stir shit up. When Bruce was saying stir shit up, like shit needs to change. We need to mix shit up. When he's hearing stir shit up, he's talking about, oh man, we need to get into some skirmishes. We need to get into some fracases. Bruce is talking about like really making some change. Thanks, Shell. Thanks, Mike. My daughter designed his background. She didn't even design it to be a background. She designed it to be a design, and I just used it as a background because it's dope. And it's my daughter. So when this motherfucker goes through this whole interview and just continues to disrespect us, then comes up what everybody has heard about when they start talking about reparations. When they start talking about reparations, that's what everybody's really hemming on. So we're going to get into that because we over halfway through it now. Yeah, we in the home stretch. We just about to get disrespected the most of all. And it's going to be on some symbolism shit, but it's still going to be the most disrespectful. The reparations thing isn't the most disrespectful thing that he said in this interview. Most people think it is because most people didn't listen to the interview. I listened to the interview. Disrespectful. I'm gonna probably stop it between this motherfucker about 2-3 times. This is 3 minutes.
How do you hold the same country that sent man to the moon with being the same country of Jim Crow? You don't make peace with that, obviously, but how you sort of hold that being the same America?
I think that it is partly because we never went through a true reckoning. And so we just buried
one faction of people. You just buried one faction of people. Now, that's not what he's going to say here. I just thought I'd finish his sentence. Bruce finished his sentence before. I thought I'd finish his sentence before, but we're going to let him talk.
Huge part of our experience and our citizenry in our minds.
Now, you mentioned
in our minds. So black people being buried in America is only a figment of our imagination. See, he said greasy shit like this, and most people didn't catch it. Most people didn't catch it. He said in our minds. So this is just a figment of our imagination that we've been fucked up for over 400 years in this bitch. In our minds, right at the end. they'll fade that out. When you don't listen to the podcast, and you just get the sound bites, see, they fade that right out. OG Classic. Top of the evening to you, brother. Thanks for the support. He purposely said shit. He gets his point in, but just so he don't look like he's too much on the black side, he said that comment and then jumped back. Here we go.
Reckoning hadn't taken place. So here we sit today where it feels like a reckoning is being called for. Is the country ready to deconstruct its founding myths, its mythic stories, its mythic history, or is it prepared to consider reparations?
Bruce asked for reparations more than Al Sharpton did all of Barack's 8 years. Bruce asked for reparations more than the CBC did all of Barack's 8 years. Bruce just asked for reparations more than any black mayor in this country has asked all of Barack's 8 years. Bruce white. Bruce is white. Sister Shanna, welcome aboard. Told you, Bruce the blackest person in this interview.
Do you think we're at that place right now?
So if you ask me,
nigga, he just asked you, do you think we ready for reparations? So if you ask me, he just asked you. See, when they start stalling, that's that backpedaling shit. I'm trying to get this lie right. I need this lie to be right. Can this lie be like the one I told all 8 years? Or I need to slide some jazzy shit in here since it's a podcast. He thinks he's slick.
theoretically,
Theoretically.
are reparations justified? The answer is yes. There's not much.
Theoretically, reparations are justified. Theoretically, reparations are justified. So mean, this is the way this gonna end. You know what? Let me just go ahead and bust y'all motherfucking bubble right now. It goes downhill from here. This is the best Barack Obama's ever been with reparations. Theoretically, reparations are due. Y'all owed something. He just said it, theoretically. Theoretically. God damn it. In theory, reparations are due as per Barack Hussein Obama. Now, pull your seatbelt tight, because I told you it's downhill from here. It's downhill from here.
Much question, right? That the wealth of this country, the power of this country was built in significant part, not exclusively.
He's taking away what Black Americans did and how Black Americans built America. He said not exclusively, but significant part. Did nobody else build shit but Black Americans? But now we're not exclusive. Not exclusive. Significant though. So in theory, we're still significant.
Maybe not even the majority of it, but a large portion.
We didn't even build the majority of America now. Barack Obama just said we did not build the majority of America just then. I told you, it's downhill from here.
Portion of it was built on the backs of slaves.
The White House might.
They built the house I stayed in.
Yeah, you goddamn right. The house you stayed in, motherfucker. You didn't do shit for us, but you stayed in that bitch. You stayed in a house that was built by slaves. Your wife said this house was built by slaves. And you should have picked it right up. You're like, you know what? And they need to be repaid. The first families that receive reparations, we go back and find out who built this motherfucking building. And then we start spreading it out from there. But he ain't saying that. He didn't say that then. He's not saying it now. He just said the house he stayed at.
For a while. What is also true is that even after the end of formal slavery and the continuation of Jim Crow, the systematic oppression and discrimination of Black Americans resulted in Black families not being able to build up wealth, not being able to compete.
In theory, we still there, y'all. In theory, we still there. He just talked about how Black people were not able to build generational wealth. We still there. There's still hope. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
And that has generational effects. So if you're thinking of what's just, you would look back and you would say, the descendants of those who suffered those kinds of terrible, cruel, often arbitrary injustices deserve sort of redress, some sort of compensation, a recognition.
He went from redress, some sort of compensation. Huh? Here, listen to the last 15 seconds.
Those who suffered those kinds of
those who suffered. He won't say descendants of slavery. He won't say descendants of freemen, those who suffered. I don't know exactly who they are, just those who suffered.
Cruel, often arbitrary injustices deserve sort of redress, some sort of compensation, a recognition.
Redress, some sort of compensation. Recognition. I think we got pretty much everybody in here is ADOS. I think we got pretty much everybody in here is ADOS. Do you want redress? Huh? Do you want some sort of compensation? Huh? Or do you want some sort of recognition? Huh? How's that, brother Mike? I had to keep a straight face when I did it. When I saw the comment, I was like, I'm about to be an asshole. It's fucked up Friday and shit, and I'm with the shits. I'm with the shits out here. So I'm asking you, do you want, as a descendant of slavery, do you want redress, some sort of compensation, or recognition? What would you like? Michelle has profited off his presidency as well. Both are living in 11.5. Oh my God. Martha Vineyard Estate, she's no longer one of us. She has been highly elevated with the privilege and monies. Oh yeah, she boule as fuck now. Southside Shelly ain't Southside Shelly no more. No. Redress plus repair, reparations. But he didn't ask you all that. He said redress, some sort of compensation, or recognition. What you want? Redress, some sort of compensation. Huh? Huh? Mike made me do it. You know Mike's a bad influence, Shanna. Mike made me do it. So you got to finish this, man. And then we got to get to the point where it really just, the wheels fall off, man. The wheels fall off. I'm going to go back 15 seconds. You're going to be at a minute of this, and then we're going to go to the next one, because this is where he makes the excuses of why. I'm sorry, why not?
Of those who suffered those kinds of terrible, cruel, often arbitrary injustices deserve sort of redress, some sort of compensation, a recognition.
How do you, as president, knowing all of the above,
Right.
push or prepare the nation for something that feels, as you say, so justified?
Well,
Or not?
And so this then brings us to, could you actually get that kind of justice? Could you get?
Of course you can get that kind of justice. When you got the House and you got the Senate and you the president and you black and you got black people who need it, yeah, you can get it. If you want to get it. I really can't get that look, man. I be trying. Huh? You gotta have that beard and that hat on and shit. That bird watcher hat. Uh-oh. I'm about to fuck up.
Get a country to agree and own that history.
I don't give a fuck what anybody agrees with. I don't give a fuck whether they own it or not. Reparations are due. Jews have been paid. Japanese people have been paid. Native Americans are still getting paid. They are subsidized like a motherfucker in this bitch. And where was the studies? And where was all the commissions? Not the commissions paid to Jews, Japanese, and Native Americans. I'm talking about the commissions. Where was the H.R. Navajo Commission? Hey, brother, I'm in the middle of my live. Let me hit you back. Hopefully he heard that. It's coming through the speaker, but I don't think it actually connected. I'm not sure. I don't know. He's not somebody that supports me. He don't know me like that. We talk to each other like once a month. Next time I'll let him know. Because he got some products he probably want to sponsor. So you're going to call me during my shit, at least know what I'm doing, and, you know, we get it together. Anyways, this shit here.
And my judgment that as a practical matter is unattainable. We can't even get this country a decent schooling for inner city kids.
What the fuck does that have to do with anything? He thought it was unattainable because we can't get schooling for inner city kids. Give us our reparations and we don't have to fuck with your schools as inner city kids. He took it from a population, from a faction of people, and broke it all the way down to inner city kids not being schooled well. So that's why you didn't push for reparations, because inner city kids don't get a good education. That's the reason why reparations was not attainable. That's what he just said. If I heard something different than you heard, please say it. Now we're going to get to the point, because he's already nigga-splained, but he's about to hit high gear with it. This is where the insults get nasty. This is where they get nasty, because he starts talking about what white people wouldn't want us to get. Like it fucking matters. I give a fuck what a white person thinks I deserve when your great-great-grandfather beat and raped my great-great-grandfather? And God knows what he did to my great-great-grandmother. You think I give a fuck? We need to be repaired, and you're worried about white people not liking it? Oh, yeah. See, they only put a couple of these drops out, but I listened to the whole thing, and you're gaining some shit that you probably haven't heard. If you didn't watch the whole thing and listen to the whole thing, you didn't hear some of this shit. What y'all got going on in there? Because he doesn't feel our struggle. He doesn't feel our pain, Rochelle. When you are not an American descendant of freedmen, American descendant of slavery, you don't feel that same pain. It don't matter that his daddy's black, a Kenyan black. It don't matter. He's not the same black. That cadence and shit. That cadence, that's a grifting cadence. Barack Obama doesn't talk like that. He only talks like that when he wants to grift to the black side. Talks with that rhythmic cadence. Oh, yeah, he could fleece some niggas' money. If he ever wanted to be a preacher, he could take some niggas' money. The way he talks, oh, yeah, he could preach. He could fill up some coffers. He could fill up some coffers because he a talking motherfucker. He a talking motherfucker. Come in with his tan suit. Big booty Shelly. Yeah, okay. Okay. This is where the disrespect really starts to get disrespectful.
What I saw during my presidency was that the politics of white resistance and resentment.
Do y'all remember any specific resistance and resentment from just the general white public when he was the president? I don't remember any just basic resistance and resentment. Now, what he had to deal with in the political spaces, in the houses, in the Senate and all that shit, that's different. What we had to deal with out here, most motherfuckers didn't fuck with us Barack was in. When there was a black president, most motherfuckers really didn't fuck with us like that. He's trying to make it seem like because Mitch McConnell and them was punking him out, we was getting punked out here in the streets. Nah, I didn't get punked out. We was okay out here. He just wasn't doing shit for us. You know what Barack Obama was? Barack Obama was 28-inch rims. We could put them on our cars and shit, but they didn't make our car perform better. You know what Barack Obama was? Barack Obama was that spoiler on the back of your car. Makes your car look sweet as fuck. But it don't do nothing. It just looks sweet as fuck. That shit don't really work on real cars. That shit only works on aerodynamic race cars and shit. But they put spoilers on regular cars and motherfuckers be like, yeah, got that spoiler. Like, nah, yeah. You paid extra $1,000 for some bullshit. It's not going to help your vehicle one bit. And it actually depreciated it. Dummy. That's what Barack Obama was an accessory. No. His daddy wasn't even here. No. Yeah, Barack Obama's daddy wasn't here. He talks like once or twice about his dad, but he don't ever talk about that man. That man wasn't that. Barack, no. So when he starts talking about his black side, man, come on, man. That wasn't even you, Barack. That wasn't even you, bro. So here we go.
All that made the prospect of actual of the undeserving poor and welfare queens. And
oops, here we go. My fault. So here y'all go. There you go.
what I saw during my presidency was that the politics of white resistance and resentment, the talk of welfare queens and the talk of the undeserving poor and the backlash against affirmative action, all that.
White women blew up on affirmative action. So why would they have been complaining? Why would it have been white resistance, white resentment? White women loved affirmative action. See, this is where he's full of shit. Welfare queens? Who was complaining about welfare queens? What? Welfare queens. And then just poor people, this broke ass people just complaining about him. He's a fucking liar. He is a liar.
Made the prospect of actually proposing any kind of coherent, meaningful reparations program struck me as politically not only a non-starter, but potentially counterproductive. And it's perfectly understandable why working class white folks, middle class white folks, folks who are having trouble paying the bills or dealing with student loans or don't have health care, where they feel like government has let them down.
Okay. So I understand there's some white folks out here that had some shit happen to them. I understand there's some white folks out here that had some shit implode on them. I get it. But where I have to draw the line with that, white folks had a 400-year head start, motherfucker. White folks had a 400-year head start. Understanding. Shit happens. But it happened to you after you had a 400-year head start. So I should care about a white person's student loans when my people were killed if they learned how to read? My people were killed if they learned how to read. But white people are hamstrung with student loans right now. What? We're still going through the effects of people being murdered for the fact that they learn how to read. We're going through the effects of that now. Still, to this day. That shit don't go away. Slavery went for 12 generations, 246 years. We're only out of slavery like 8 generations right now. We haven't even been out of slavery as long as we were in slavery. We've been fucked up more out here than we haven't, but we're still fucked up. How long we out of Jim Crow? 60 years? I mean, shit. Black people couldn't do shit in the same space as white people 60 years ago. And he's acting as if he done did something here.
Wouldn't be thrilled with the idea of a massive program that is designed to deal with the past, but isn't speaking to their future.
So now I'm going to be worried about their future because you don't want to speak about our past. Or you're going to speak about their past, but what about our future? What about your present, motherfucker? What about the 400-year head start you had, you fucking failure? See, that's where a lot of people are getting fucked up out here because they're really not inventors. They're really not people that know how to do shit out here. Really industrious people. Some are. But there's a lot of people that have just been riding the wave of white supremacy, and they see it coming into the end because they don't really have any skills. See how many people that have had companies in their families, like heritage companies, and then when that one generation gets it and it just falls flat because they never learned how to do shit. They were just spoiled ass kids who eventually took over the family business, but they didn't know how to run the family business, so that family business fucking tanked. Then they sold it to somebody, and then they fucking built the bitch back up and made it a motherfucking crazy ass business again. It doesn't implode all the way. Some of them do, but most of them don't. Most of them get sold to somebody else, and I know how to put that bitch together. I'll buy it from you. I'll buy it from you because you're losing. Yeah, that's what happens. And they're losing their grip on fucking society. That's who stormed the Capitol. Motherfuckers that are losing their grip on society. Ain't did nothing all these fucking years. So now they want to be mad about it because there ain't shit for them. You got a 400-year head start. I don't feel sorry for you, bitch.
You're saying we live in a country where we can do that for bankers on Wall Street, but we can't do it for.
This is what everybody's heard. This is what everybody's heard.
Been struggling for so long.
Well, I promise you, white folks don't like that either. But look, even though I was convinced the reparations was a non-starter during my presidency,
he said it was theoretically possible. And then he's here in non-starter. Now he's a non-starter. Theoretically possible, non-starter. Redress, some sort of compensation, recognition. Now it's a non-starter.
I understand the argument of people I respect, like Ta-Nehisi Coates, that we...
A fucking writer. Not a civil rights activist. Not any black politicians that fucking cow down to him. He went to fucking Coates. Because he's on that socialist shit. He don't give a fuck about us. More white people are on welfare than black people, but there's welfare queens. Why didn't he say white welfare queens? Because there's more white women on welfare than there are black women. When he was talking about black women, when he said welfare queens, he wasn't talking about white women. If you the mostest, you're the queen. They the mostest. They got the mostest welfare.
About it anyway. If for no other reason than to educate the country about a past that too often isn't taught, and let's face it, we'd rather forget.
It's only defense. And HR 40, the commission.
So he done gone to, from it really happening to really just talking about it. Talking about it would be good. Let's just talk about it. Not getting anything, just talking about it is going to heal black Americans. Damn it. Did you not hear it?
Well, I promise you, white folks don't like that either. But look, even though I was convinced the reparations was a non-starter during my presidency, I understand the argument of people I respect, like Ta-Nehisi Coates, that we should talk about it anyway. If for no other reason than to educate the country about a past that too often isn't taught, and let's face it, we'd rather forget.
Why the fuck would I care about educating the country about what has happened? The country knows what the fuck has happened. McGraw and fucking Hill wouldn't be trying to change textbooks if they didn't know what was happening. They're trying to rewrite the fucking textbooks because they don't want that in the textbooks. country knows what's happened. We don't need to talk about it. We need redress. We need repair. We need reparations.
And HR 40, the commission to study and develop reparation proposals, is the answer to the original sin. It is in fact,
And it goes back full circle to everything we've been talking about. The bridge between America as it is and as we mythologize it to be. The only way that you can bring those two things together is to do an honest accounting and then do the work. I'm not willing, and I know you aren't either, to abandon the ideal because the ideal is worthy.
Mm-hmm.
But the ideal, this more perfect union of ours, is far from where the reality has been.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's some who argue, let's just get rid of the ideal. I think you need a North Star. You need some place to point
I'm
to.
completely with you on that.
But what I also think is you can't get to where you want to go if you don't know where you are. And
You can't get to where you want to go until you know where you are. You can't get to where you want to go until you know where you are. You can't get to where you want to go until you know where you are. See, we know where we are, and we know where we want to go. But situations like this are held up by people like Barack because it's not about us not getting to where we want to go because we don't know where we are. It's about us not getting to where we want to go because motherfuckers don't realize where we've been and they want to cover that up. All this history that's coming out to all these new niggas in here. See, that's why I said people like Larry Elder, Herschel Walker, Burgess Owens during that HR 40 hearing, that's just three. There's many, 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 many more that think like them. They need to be shut down. We don't need to give them our platforms. We know they're clown. We know they're goofy niggas. We don't need to give them our platforms. I was going to do a whole HR 40 video with I got all the audio, all the speeches, because that's what they were, was speeches. We got to know where we are with them. If we line up with them, we got to know we're behind enemy lines. If they look like they're on our side, they're behind enemy lines. They came into that HR 40 hearing as enemies. Chocolate-covered white men. Herschel can't speak above a third grade level. And they gave him the platform on a judiciary hearing for reparations for the descendants of slavery. Larry Elder has never used a black phrase for the betterment of black people ever. He likes to take black phraseology and he puts it and he spins it and he makes it work against us. And it says, see this, Barack Obama said this and Barack Obama said that. Denzel said this and Denzel said that. He loves to take the shit and twist it and take it out of context. Burgess Owens wants to be white so bad, He wants to be white so bad. It's scary. It is scary how much of a clown Burgess Owens is. And he is an elected official. Larry Elder ain't shit. Herschel Walker ain't shit. Burgess Owens is a fucking congressman, dude. He's working against Black Americans getting reparations. And now you've got this.
Let's just get rid of the ideal. I think you need a North Star. You need some place to point
I'm
to.
completely with you on that.
But what I also think is you can't get to where you want to go if you don't know where you are.
We should have known where we were in 2008 and not voted that little light-skinned motherfucker in. Black Americans would be much better off if Barack Obama never crossed our path. And now we got all these motherfuckers walking around here. Obama said this, and Obama said that, and Obama said this. See, Burgess Owens like to use Obama's comments against this. Larry Elder likes to use them against this. Herschel can't use shit because he can't get the words that he do know out his mouth. Facts found in history. We're going to have a history lesson. And we're going to facts found. So I said it went all the way downhill. And it got to the depths. It got to the depths on some symbolism shit. We talked on some real shit right there. Now we're going to go to some symbolism shit. And he got as disrespectful as you gonna get. And then I'm gonna get the fuck up out of here. Once again, I appreciate everybody that's in this bitch. It looks like there's 8 of us. For a non-scheduled live on YouTube on an early Friday evening, hey, I'll take it. Hopefully somebody new here and they're not a subscriber and they'll subscribe. Hopefully it's not just all subscribers. I mean, I appreciate y'all. But we need some new peoples. We need some new folk in here. We need some new Black watchers. So we're going to go to the last piece of audio. And they got in, they got in all their shit. They got in all their real shit. Now it's time to have a little fun. But the little fun was a little serious too. Has anybody seen this? Any pop up real quick out of the 8 folks in here? Has anybody seen or heard this whole thing with Bruce Springsteen? Or will this all be new to y'all? Has anybody heard it? In the YouTube chat? Was that yes, Frida? I'm looking for an answer right now. See, where I'm at. I'm so disenchanted with Barack Obama now. It can't get no worse. It can't get no worse. But what he did here, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. But this was bad. Have you heard this podcast with Bruce Springsteen? You're going to need 2 drinks. Not 1, 2. You're going to need 2 drinks to listen to it. To listen to American Skin, track 2, you're going to need 2 drinks. So they get to the end and they're going to play around a little bit. So they went with the best protest songs. Now, I'm going to put a little preface on this. I think one of the best people that ever wrote protest songs is Bob Dylan. Put a pin in that. I used to listen to a podcast, and they used to say that all the time. I always wanted to say that one day. Put a pin in that. Bob Dylan. One of the best protest songwriters and singers, performers ever in the world. I'll send you the link. Two drinks. 2 drink minimum on this one. 2 drink minimum.
And what I saw during my presidency.
Oh, my fault. Won't hear that fuckery again.
We talked about civil rights. We talked about rock and roll, music, and social change, and
All right.
lightning round, best protest song. All right. So, top.
Okay. Best protest songs. Now, we already got a pin in Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan got a pin in him. Bruce Springsteen's known for a protest song. He could have been egotistical and shit. He could have been like, shit, someone see some of the shit I wrote. Bruce should have just came out and said, I wrote some of the illest shit out here. But he didn't. Listen to this shit.
Or 4 or 5, how many you can think of?
I would say Fight the Power, Public Enemy.
That is a great
would
song.
say Anarchy in the UK, the Sex Pistols, or God Save the Queen. Those are great protest songs.
Bruce said, Fight the Power by P.E. And this nigga Barack said, that is a great song. He wasn't supposed to say that. Bruce said, Fight the Power by Public Enemy. And Barack Obama said, that is a great song. Barack Obama should have said, Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. He should have came with a lyric. But instead, he said, that is a great song. Because I bet you Barack ain't heard that shit 10 times in his life. Barack don't fuck with music like that. Like that. Just wait. He didn't know that, but he about to know some shit.
Maggie's Farm is a great protest song. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more.
You sound good.
I ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more. Change is gonna come.
Okay, so he went to Maggie's Farm, then he went right to Change is Gonna Come. I'm gonna let him do his Change is Gonna Come in a second. But most people don't even know about Maggie's Farm. Maggie's Farm, y'all. Does anybody know about Maggie's Farm? Donna, you probably know about Maggie's Farm. Hey, I'm glad he didn't do Amazing Grace. I can definitely tell y'all now, he didn't do Amazing Grace. Maggie's Farm. That's ugly. So Maggie's Farm is a protest song by Bob Dylan, one of the greats. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more. I wake up in the morning, fold my hands, and pray it rains. I got a head full of ideas and driving me insane. It's a shame the way she makes me scrub the floor. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's brother no more. It goes back and back and back and forth. Well, he hands you a nickel, you hands you a dime. He asks with a grin if you're having a good time. Then he finds you every time you slam the door. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's brother's farm no more. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's pa's farm no more. Maggie's farm, whatever. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's pa no more. When he puts his cigar out in your face just for kicks, his bedroom window, it is made out of bricks. The National Guard stands around his door. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's pa no more. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's ma no more. No, I ain't gonna work for Maggie's ma no more. She talks to all the servants about the man and God and law. Everybody says she's the brains behind Pa. She's 68, but says she's 54. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's ma no more. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's Farm no more. I ain't gonna work for Maggie's Farm no more. Well, I try my best to be just like I am, but everybody wants you to be just like them. They say, sing while you slave. This is a slave tale, and Barack Obama loves it. It's a slave tale. They say, sing while you slave, and I just get bored. I ain't gonna work on Maggie's Farm no more. Maggie's father put his cigars out in your face. Her mama talked to the slaves real nasty. She was getting tore off by a big buck. You got to understand, when she talked to the men nasty, somebody was knocking that bottom out in the evening. They like the big bucks. The brother give money and then take it right back from him. You know, swindler type motherfucker. Because they didn't have no skills, so they did everything they could to keep all the wealth for themselves. Everything that we did, we should have been earning, but we weren't earning. That's why we were slaves. We were not servants. We were not butlers and maids. We were slaves. And then we worked ourselves up to indentured servants, sharecropping, butlers and maids. We had been that. We just weren't getting paid for it. Now we got titles, butlers and maids, instead of just fucking slaves.
Yeah, I Sam Cooke. Beautiful. That song can make me cry.
American chattel slavery doesn't make him cry, but a change is gonna come can make him cry. If you don't get the fuck out of here, nigga, that song can make me cry. But when we talk about chattel slavery, when we talk about Reconstruction, we talk about Jim Crow, peonage, mass incarceration, redlining, predatory lending, being killed for the ability to be able to read a book. Lynchings, the KKK, the bombings, the dismantling of every black community in this nation to build your highway system. That don't make you cry? That don't make you cry? But a change is going to come, makes you cry?
There is something about when he starts singing.
The historical pain that's in it. And
He don't know nothing about that, Bruce. He don't know nothing about the historical pain that's in that song. That nigga was in Hawaii.
yet the elegance and generousness of his voice.
And Billie Holiday singing Strange Fruit.
This protest song about black people being lynched. That's a cry for help. That's a cry for help. Strange Fruit was a cry for help. Stop killing us. Stop killing us. It's like he's reading them off a list. Let me be disrespectful, disrespectful, disrespectful. Disrespectful, disrespectful, disrespectful.
Every man out there. Protest song.
Boom, to the top of the list, you know?
You know what's a great protest song?
Yeah.
Although people don't think of it as a protest song.
Okay.
Respect. Aretha Franklin.
One of the best.
RESPCT, right?
Did you know Respect was a protest song? So this is where he mocks black people. This is where he mocks black people. Okay? He mocks us right here. One, Respect wasn't a protest song. Talking just about black men. A black man. Aretha was very political. But that's his way to kick a black man. It's the only one he knows. It's the only one. But where he's most disrespectful, and I'm going to hold his ass to it, bitch ass punk. Barack Obama, does he have a doctorate? I don't know. Does he have a PhD? He got a high level degree. He should know how to spell respect. But he misspelled it in this. This thing with Bruce, they going to edit it out? Hopefully they edit it out and they re-put it in there because he misspelled respect. They should be able to do it. Digitally, they can do that shit. He misspelled respect. Listen.
You know?
You know what's a great protest song?
Yeah.
Although people don't think of it as a protest song.
Okay.
Respect. Aretha
Fabulous.
Franklin.
One of the best.
RESPCT, right?
RESPCT. RESPCT.
I mean,
Bruce don't even say nothing.
That is one of the best.
She is saying to every man out there, get your act together.
That is one of the
There
best.
you go with that cadence again. There he goes with that. Get your act together. Get your act together, brother. I hate when he does that shit. Let me blacken up my voice. Let me get a little niggerish on it. Let me put a little niggerish on it. You put a little niggerish on it when you misspelled respect, bitch.
Right? I mean, that's a protest song.
That is one of the best.
She is saying to
Uh-oh, no.
protest song.
God damn it.
Think of it as a protest song.
Okay.
Respect. Aretha
Fabulous.
Franklin.
One of the best.
RESPCT, right? I mean, that's a protest song.
That is one of the best.
She is saying to every man out there, get your act together.
That is one.
Is that what
of
Aretha's
the
saying?
best. That's for sure.
Is that
But it's
Aretha?
not,
Is
you
that
know,
what
it's-
Aretha's saying?
It's a protest song.
That is one of the best.
She is saying to every man out there, get your act together.
That is one of the best. One of the best.
RESPCT, right? I mean, that's a protest song.
That is one of the best.
She is saying to every
RESPCT.
man out there.
The former president of the United States, the first black man to be president, just misspelled Aretha's song on a podcast with the boss. Yeah. Yeah.
Get your act together.
That is one of the best. That's for sure.
Bruce
And
know he
it's not,
full
you
of
know,
shit.
It's not a lecture.
No. I think my favorite protest songs are the ones that captured spirit more than any particular diatribe or
No, that doesn't work.
you know, that doesn't work. But
Well, you know, here's a good example. 41 Shots is about a very specific event that happened. And by the way, we should remind everyone what happened. You know, it's a sign of our age that although the story sadly has been repeated many times since then, a lot of folks may not remember exactly what happened.
well, Amadou Diallo was an African immigrant who, in a case of mistaken identity, was stopped by the police. He was in his vestibule of an apartment building. He went to reach for his wallet and was shot 19 times, 41 total shots being fired by the officers who were acquitted.
And important for context, these officers were in plain clothes.
That's
So Diallo doesn't even necessarily know why these four guys are telling him to stop and suggesting that they're somehow got business with him.
possibly not. But where the song came from was this incident occurs and I start to think about it. I go, okay, skin is destiny. You know, it's like what a privilege it is to forget that you live in a particular body. White people can do that. Black people.
Bruce, right here, I already respected the motherfucker. I already respected Bruce. But right here is where my respect level went from one level to the next level for him, and from one level to the next level for Barack. I'm almost off Barack, and I'm going to do this gay rights shit, and I'm going to get on up out of here.
It's like what a privilege it is to forget that you live in a particular body. White people can do that. Black people can't do that. So that was what was at the center of that piece of music. And the rest was addressing our mutual fear of one another. It all starts with fear. Hatred comes later, but it all starts with fear. Everything we've got going in our systemic racism we have here in America today, where does it come from? People are scared. What are they scared of? Demographic change. They're scared of the country becoming some place where Black and brown voices become louder, more influential, more powerful, more equal.
Losing status.
Yeah, losing status.
He already said that, bitch. Losing status. That's all you had to add to that? Losing status. Everything that Bruce was saying encompassed that.
Becoming some place where Black and brown voices become louder. The systemic racism we have here in America today, where does it come from? People are scared. What are they scared of? Demographic change. They're scared of the country becoming some place where Black and brown voices become louder, more influential, more powerful, more equal.
Losing status.
Yeah, losing status. That's a big part of what we have. I'm gonna maybe play a little bit of this.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
You know, let's get a little sample.
All right.
Go ahead, man. Let's get a little sample. Bruce bailed him out. Bruce bailed him out. He was supposed to have a thunderous ending response to what Bruce said. Bruce started strumming his guitar and bailed that motherfucker. He was like, damn, Barack, you ain't gonna come in here, man? I'm throwing you an alley-oop right now. I'm throwing you an alley-oop. You should come in with something thunderous. He started strumming. Barack could have came in with a little music bed. How like I use Dilla. I like to use Dilla. You know, I like to use Dilla up under my voice. And that's the way Bruce should have been up under Barack's voice. But when he started strumming, he was like, you know, because that's Bruce's song. For y'all that don't know, 41 Shots is a Bruce Springsteen song. That's why Barack knows it, because Barack listened to Bruce Springsteen. He don't listen to Public Enemy, but he listened to Bruce Springsteen. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But stop acting like you down if you ain't really down. You ain't got to lie to kick it. He went right in. Yeah. Hey, let's hear a little sample of that. The brother wouldn't say that shit anyway. For brother hear a guitar start to play, he'd be like, yeah, let's jam. Let's do something. He said, yeah, let's get a little sample of that. What do you got? Let me hear a little ditty. Really? Let me get a little sample of that. Nobody says that. A little sample. Motherfucker. You ain't at the Pottery Barn and shit. Man, a little sample of that. You ain't at Sam's. In the middle lanes getting some of the horse divers. That's hors d'oeuvres for motherfuckers who didn't watch Sanford and Son. Yeah. That's where we at on that. Fuck Barack, man. Fuck Barack Obama. I don't want to hear nothing else about a Barack. I don't want to hear nothing else about a Barack. He just sat chest to chest with a white man and told Black America, y'all ain't shit. Even this white man think y'all shit, but y'all ain't shit. Bruce couldn't flip him. Bruce tried to flip him. Bruce tried to flip Barack. Couldn't flip him. Barack said, I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to stay over here. You stay over there, Bruce. You just beat that little DUI thing. Bruce wasn't drunk. It was some overzealous troopers saw his ass take a shot of liquor. And yeah, Bruce wasn't drunk. No, he wasn't drunk. But much love to, and I don't say this a lot, but that nigga Lee Edwards, is that his name? Lee Edwards on Channel 2? He stood up for Black people, man. He stood up for like systemic racism, even though it had to do with Bruce. he put it out there like, you know, that shit only happened because Bruce is who he is and he white. And he said it on the air and shit. I don't give Lee a lot of credit, but I gave Lee some credit that day. I recorded that shit too. Lee stood up. Lee don't usually stand up. Lee's kind of a milquetoast cat sometimes, man. A lot of times, man. Most of the times, man. Pretty much all the times, man. But anyway, yeah, he stood up for black folks that day. So this whole gay civil rights thing got me, you know, kind of confused because I thought there was civil rights and that would take care of gay folks since it was just civil rights. Because there really didn't need to be no civil rights laws put into play until the laws got put into play because black people was just taking L's with white people. And then pretty much anybody that came after black people with the civil rights, they just said, oh, well, there's a civil rights bill. You know, it was meant for black people because they were the ones that's catching hell, but we'll use it for you, Asians, Latinos, we used to call them Hispanics, Arabs. We'll use civil rights for all y'all. So everybody usually gets civil rights when they come over here and they get, you know, you're American, you get civil rights. You got civil rights working for you. But now they got gay civil rights. So it's a little confusing to me. I'm not sure exactly why you need civil rights as a gay person if you already have civil rights as a person. You still human. You still human? I ain't still human. I just need to know if you still human. If you ain't still human and you gotta be something else when you gay, I understand why you got your whole set of civil rights. But why do you need a set of civil rights that's the same as a set of civil rights is already intact just because you gay? What if you black and the civil rights was built for black people? Do you get to double down on that with your civil rights? When you got two civil rights working for you, the regular civil rights and the gay civil rights, can you get elevated to some civil rights? I mean, what's the point of having civil rights, and then you really have no rights? I want the right to be an American in this bitch. And the way I get to that is reparations, redress, repair, reparations. It's real easy if you think about it. I mean, you can fuck with this Dilla beat. Redress, repair, reparations. See, that's the way that works. That's the way that works. I don't know what happened. Maybe the YouTube froze. YouTube might have froze. Ain't nobody saying that in a minute. What? Gay civil rights and civil rights. I don't know how they work together. I thought maybe you had civil rights whether you was gay or straight. I didn't know there could be some extra rights, extra civil rights. So do you have civiler rights? Civilist rights? I don't know. I don't know. If you are straight and you black, are you not protected any better than if you are gay and you black? What did gay black people attain? Did they attain anything? You gay and you black. Did you attain anything? What can you do now that you couldn't do before? I need to know. What's special about you? You was getting discriminated against as a black man, and then they found out you was gay. Now they discriminating against you as a gay black man. You're already getting discriminated as a black man. Now you're really a black gay man, because they didn't know. They knew you was a black man first. So you go with your first thing they knew, black. Now they know you're gay. Now it's black and gay. You came in and they knew you were gay. They could have labeled you right then. Oh, he's gay and he's black. But you got to let them know, no, I'm a black man that's gay. But you probably didn't. Just saying, man. Redress, repair, reparations, redress, repair, reparations. So now they got some different rights. Now they're going to do some civil rights for Latinos, Hispanics, Spaniards, whatever the name they're going to use, Spanish speaking folk. They're going to have some Latino, some Latino. I'm not, what is that Latinx shit? I don't know what that Latinx shit is. I thought that was like some Muslim Latinos. I didn't know what that Latinx shit was. But Latinos gonna get some civil rights too. So you ain't gonna be able to discriminate against Latinos. But boy, once it comes around that the Latino is gay, he gonna have civil rights. He gonna have gay civil rights. And then he gonna have Latino civil rights. He gonna have that trifecta. And he gonna still get his ass beat. And he's still going to be out here fighting. And he's still going to get out here talked about. They're not going to stop it. Having civil rights don't mean shit. We had civil rights and they kept lynching us. And they just turned down the anti-lynching bill. So they'll start lynching gay people. They'll start lynching Latino people. Because it ain't no bigger crime than it is for blacks. They didn't put the lynching bill together. So you can get fucked up out here, gay folk, Latino folk. Latino gay folk. So good luck with that motherfucking gay civil rights bill. You've been bamboozled, led astray, run amok. You black, you better be thinking about three things. Redress, repair, reparations. Three things. Redress, repair, reparations. Y'all be good, man. I'm telling you, man, there's some shit called Latinx, dog. Latinx. I don't know what it is. I don't know if they don't eat pork tacos. I don't know what it is. But there's some shit called Latinx. I expected to see some bow tie, chino pants wearing Mexicans. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I thought they had their collar tightened up to the top and then have a bow tie on it. I didn't know. Redress, repair, reparations. Man, I appreciate everybody who checked out this shit. We've been here for motherfucking hour and a half and shit. There's still 6 people left in this bitch. We can damn near get 2 spade games. Rochelle says she's going to teach me how to play Bid Wiz. I don't know how to play that shit. So we're going to see. Yeah. Barack Obama don't like black people. George Bush, see, Kanye was one president ahead. I mean, it's not like George Bush did really like black people, but he should have waited for Barack to say that, because Barack Obama didn't like black people. Don't like black people now. But he needs you to spend that 45 for that book. And he got a trilogy, 45, 45, 45. Y'all better wait, get that 400. You know he's gonna knock him down for Christmas. He'll knock him down for 400 around Christmas. Get that holiday pack. Yeah, Barack don't like y'all. You just heard it here on the BlackWatch. I gotta get home and see my grandbaby. She might be asleep by the time I get there. Man, I mean, we really liked that little light-skinned nigga. We thought he was gonna change the game. Goddamn, he didn't. Yeah, he changed the game, all right. Yeah. Appreciate the activity in the chat. Kept me going, kept me moving. Free, Brother Mike, Shanna, Rochelle. Donna Means. You be hitting me with the nuggets. You don't say a lot in there. Even the speaker's like, it's time to go, Nick. It's time to go. It's time to go, Nick. Time to go. Time to go, Nick. Time to go. Redress. Repair. Reparations. It's a BlackWatch. I'm a black man. And I watch shit. I don't want to watch Barack Obama do nothing else no more. You heard me?